What is going on, everybody? It's me, Vincent McLean, the Comic Machine, and I'm back again with another Monday Night Jibber Jabber. What is going on, everybody? Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for catching on the replay if that's your thing. You guys are awesome. I very much appreciate all the love and support. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, today's docket, as one would say, would be, as the thumbnail suggested, talking spooky comics. So, I'm gonna be going over the stuff I already have and stuff that I've been looking for and things that I would love to be able to get at some point. We were kind of touching on that a little bit last week towards the end of the stream, but we'll see where we go from there today. I did go see the Batman. It was amazing, absolutely 100% amazing. I hopped on the boys channel the other day after I saw the series, and we were talking live after the fact, and it was great. It was really good. I went and had my workout session today with my personal trainer. Oh God, yawns, the coffee, the late night, Jesus Christ. And we were talking after the fact today. He enjoyed the movie. He thought it was good, but it just wasn't like his cup of tea, which is understandable. But yeah, no, the Batman was amazing. I lost my shit. It was great. What is going on, White Tiger? Cool, calm, collected. Thanks for stopping by. What is up, Adrian? How's it going, man? Hopefully you're doing great tonight. Thanks for being here. I know every other, I think, what is it, every other Monday is Comic Gories over there with JP and John's Comics with Kids. But that show is great. I'm actually hoping to be able to be on that show at some point. That'd be pretty epic to be able to do. Considering I could literally just pull out all three of my boxes and just have them stacked right here on my desk. So I don't even have to get out of my chair. I can just literally pull out, what books or whatever they got going on. So, but yeah, I told John I'd love to be on Comic Gories at some point. That'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, Zuni, what's going on? Thanks for being here. War Machine, Punisher, Comics, and Collectibles. Man, we got some hella names up in here. We got White Tiger, Cool, Calm, and Collected, War Machine, Punisher, Comics, and Collectibles, and Vincent McLean, the Comic Machine. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Goodness gracious, what is going on? Thank you guys for stopping by. I very much appreciate it. I didn't realize that my name, I had changed my name for that live stream with Mark and a whole bunch of other people after I went and saw the Batman. I didn't realize I didn't change my name back. But yeah, no, the Batman was great. For those that are on the fence about going to see it because you're diehard Christopher Nolan fans, which is 100% understandable. The Christopher Nolan films were absolutely amazing, 100%. There's no doubt about it. I loved every single one, and the big one that stood out, obviously, is The Dark Knight. But this movie just hit different. It really did. It was a detective movie. It had very much that Ridley Scott noir, dark, cool, calm, and collected, like not a slow crawl, but a very deliberate, deliberateness. I don't know if that's a word. I just made it up, but it was very good. I love that they brought the detective part of Batman to this movie. I really like that, and I kind of compare it to the Ridley Scott movies for Alien. So the first Alien he did is very suspense, thriller, horror, and all that kind of stuff. And then Aliens, the sequel, is very action-packed, very Michael Bay kind of situation. You know what I mean? So, a lot of people are going to gravitate towards one or the other. Obviously, people can enjoy multiple things. But usually you have people that are like, oh, yeah, Aliens, I remember that. And the second one was so good. It was action-packed, blah, blah, blah. So if you're that kind of person, this is just going to be a good movie to you. You're going to enjoy the movie, but it's not going to be your cup of tea because it's not as action packed. But there was hella good action. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, what's up, Luke's Comics? What's going on? Thanks for being here. But yeah, definitely go see the Batman. It is so good, and it's killing it in the box office right now too, which is really awesome because movies need to make a comeback, right? That's how it needs to be. What's going on, David? How's it going, man? Thanks for being here. And yeah, funny enough, this was the very first movie and the first time I've actually been back in the theater since pandemic. I was talking with some friends about that yesterday. And yeah, that literally was the first movie I've seen in 2 years in a movie theater. So it's pretty epic. No, I didn't go see Spider-Man because Spider-Man is boring. Spider-Man is a boring character, and I got no love for Spider-Man. If anything, I'm just going to go ahead and sell or trade or A-OK all my Spider-Man books. And I only got 6 of them. But yeah, Spider-Man's boring. I hadn't seen No Way Home. I'm waiting to watch it for free whenever it comes out, and then I'll watch it. But yeah, Spider-Man is boring. That's all I got to say. The Batman was great. And the next big thing I'm waiting for is I think Moon Knight's supposed to come out first and then Kenobi. And that's going to be really awesome. I can't wait to see it. And Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is going to be really great. Cannot wait to see that too. What's up, Kenneth Bird? Thanks for stopping by. How's it going? But yeah, that's where I'm at. So for everybody that watches this on the replay, if you're on the fence about going to see the Batman and how you feel about it, just go see it. Just do a favor, just go see it. Not before you send me that book, and then you can unsub me. I know the movie's going to be good. I know the movie is just like major huge fan service, which is awesome. I just it's just the character is just so boring. It's so boring. Like obviously, like every superhero's got to have some type of tragic backstory of some extent, right? So everyone pretty much has that. But I just feel like the character is just catered to overall a younger audience most of the time. You know, that preteen, I'm a teenager, middle school, high school kind of thing. It's just like, all right, man, take care. I'll see you later. And I just don't need that. I need a bit more adult themes. I need a bunch more complexity in characters, a little bit more dichotomy going on, because like the whole like, oh, I don't want to cross this line and do this, like that's good, but like I'd rather see Batman struggle with that aspect rather than Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man obviously is not going to do anything like that. Okay. Batman, on the other hand, has and will if he needs to, but it's generally not the thing he goes for. I need a more complex type of character with deeper, darker adult themes. And it doesn't even need to be deeper, dark adult themes. It just needs to be a more interesting character. And Spider-Man does not do it for me. I'm just saying. Fan service dick was stroked harder than that movie. Yeah, I know. I've seen stills and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Do you think that's a werewolf in the Moon Knight trailer? That scene keeps pushing something on that floor. Looks like a werewolf creature. So after the trailer, I, of course, like everybody else, was going through and trying to find explanations of the trailer and go through all that kind of stuff. And I did see somebody had talked about that the creature that Moon Knight was beating the shit out of at the end of the trailer was Werewolf by Night. But to me, it didn't look like Werewolf by Night. Okay. So I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards probably not. Okay. And it just is what it is. So I'm pulling up the picture here. So can I? Here we go. Yeah. Check it out, guys. I got some magic going on over here. All right, cool. Here we go. So this is what Werewolf by Night technically looks like. Okay. Like he looks like a werewolf, like your traditional, like that, like the first old scary movie werewolf, right? Wolfman. That's literally what he looks like. Now in the trailer, what we see kind of more so looks like to me like a I don't know, like an Anubis dog kind of thing, like an Anubis grunt situation. So I don't know. I think yeah, I think it's going to be just like a Anubis kind of looking creature. I don't think it's actually Werewolf by Night, but there was a lot of people that were saying that in the breakdowns that I saw that it potentially was Werewolf by Night that was beaten up. So I don't know. Hey, look, I can enjoy Marvel and just not be a Spider-Man fan. I'm also not the biggest Captain America fan either, but I like Captain America. I think I'd probably like Captain America a little bit more just because he was actually punching Hitler, which is actually really freaking cool. You know, when did Spider-Man ever punch Hitler? So, you know, I'm just saying. What's up, Mark? Hey, I watched your video today. And congrats on that Tomb of Dracula #3. Sucks that CGC may or may not have fucked your book over with that staple coming quote unquote detached. I know for a fact that our boy Justin Comics, speaking of which, if you need your pressing and service cleanings done for your comic books or submissions, Justin Comics right there. Boom. Go do it. You'll thank me for later. But yeah, Mark, that video was great. Sucks that they put that on there for the graders notes. But that 3.0, like, okay. Did you look up the prices? Mark, I don't know if you're still watching, but did you look up your prices for the 3.0, what they're going for? Because I'm assuming that book's probably at least $1,000, if not, $900 or something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah. Yeah, no, I know what you meant, punching. Yeah, but I just didn't think so. I'm kind of on the fence about it. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But my first reaction to it when I saw it, I did not correlate the creature that he's beating the shit out of was Werewolf by Night. So I'm gonna go with my gut instinct that it's not. Yes, you are here. Thanks for being here, man. I very, very much appreciate it. It sucks, nowadays, like you're very busy with your pressing and cleaning, and you're a hella decorated educator, and you got all the diplomas and stuff. I know you're hella busy and you work a lot and you're doing everything, but I appreciate you being here, man. It's really awesome seeing you here. Yeah, I worked so hard to keep that book attached. I'm sure they did that. They opened quickly, I bet. Yeah, it probably was something like that, which really sucks. So yeah. Yes, it is. What's up, Come On Mama? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Some longtime loyal fans here. Very much appreciate it. But yeah, the Moon Knight series, that's probably the next big thing besides the Kenobi series. I'm very excited to see what that's going on. I actually did go back through last night and today, and I watched Revenge of the Sith because that's one of the best movies. I'm sorry, but the prequels, in my opinion, other than the originals, are the best trilogy. Because it is what it is. That's what they are. I have not seen the new ones because I heard they were absolute garbage. I saw The Force Awakens and I absolutely hated it because it literally was just a New Hope redo, and I didn't like it. It was dumb, and yeah. So yeah, that's where I stand on that. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing like the Kenobi series. Book of Boba Fett, kind of disappointed at the end a little bit. It just didn't come out the way it needed to. And Mandalorian is just fantastic. Like if they would have just stuck with the Mandalorian and just carried on from that in the Book of Boba Fett, like it looked like they were doing the first 3 or 4 episodes, and then it just went downhill. So hopefully Kenobi is going to end up being a lot better, and I can't wait to see what ends up happening. So it's going to be great. But yeah, Moon Knight, next big thing. So excited for that. Multiverse of Madness is going to be great. Obviously, it's going to be great. Can't wait to see Patrick Stewart reprise his role as Professor X. That's going to be super awesome. I also did go back through and watch Days of Future Past, because that is a really good movie. This is one of, like, for the second generation of the X-Men movies that came out. So like First Class, Apocalypse, Days of Future Past, and then there was another one I'm missing there, I'm sure. But those are the best ones. Like the original, like X-Men and X-Men 2 were really, really good. Really, really good. X-Men 3 kind of like, yeah. Third one, like I enjoyed it, but it wasn't as good as the first two. But the Volume 2 movies, oh yeah, super great. And then Logan obviously is in its own, subset of itself, is so great. I actually really enjoyed the Wolverine. I really like that movie a lot. It's really good. But yeah, so I watched that the other day because I was thinking about the X-Men, and I have the Days of Future Past story comic books. I got a great deal on those. They're about like a 7.75, somewhere in there. But yeah. What else? Other news. Was there any other big news that I was following or looking at or doing something on? I'm sure there was. I'm sure you guys I'll probably do a lot of the same shit that I do. You're looking at news stories, you're looking at articles, you're looking on YouTube, and you're checking out all the really cool comic books and prices, and be like, oh no, I can't buy that today. That's too expensive. Let's try this again. Another day. So yeah, let's see if there's anything here. I'm sure there is. I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna go in depth to the Batman spoilers or speculation, because it could end up spoiling the movie for anybody that hasn't seen it yet. But there's definitely very good possibilities for the sequel storylines to come from. I would say if you were trying to get Batman books and trying to get into Batman and understand what Batman is all about and whatnot, I definitely would say go for the Batman New 52 run with Scott Snyder. Start there. That is definitely the super awesome storyline that is really good. And then also Jim Lee's Batman run, Hush, is a very, very good story too as well. I would say those would be good books to look out for and hunt for. Now would be the time to try to find those in a semi inexpensive book. I'm sure you could find a lot of those books for a couple bucks, $5. Average, I'm probably going to assume 8 to 10, 15 and 20 on the higher end for some of the keys. But now would be the time to try to pick some of those up. I don't try to get in the speculation game. I've had the Batman New 52 #1 for a long time now, just because it's the New 52. The New 52 is huge moment in DC. Them revamping everybody and starting fresh. So Volume 2 basically for a lot of these stories and characters. So those are like hot books to get when you're a collector. So you're like always looking at, I need to get all the Volume 1 of the Flash. Well, Volume 1 of the Flash starts at what, Justin? 105, 106. How much does that book go for? Holy shit! It's expensive. So guess what? Go for Volume 2, issue #1, which is what I picked up the other day. And I think I paid $20, and it's as near mint as you could possibly get. It's hella minty. This book right here. So Volume 2 for Batman would be the New 52, and I would definitely suggest that as a starting point, especially if you're looking for new stuff to pick up or maybe potential investment opportunities, long-term holds if you can find really high-grade copies. That was another thing I wanted to talk about today. So the thing that grinds my gears, I think more lately when I watch a lot of the community post up their graded comics, is it seems like a lot of people are unhappy when they get a modern book and it doesn't come back at a 9.8. I don't know. That's just me. That's the perception I'm getting from a lot of these other channels that do unboxings and whatnot. And it just seems like if it's not a 9.8 or a 9.6, 9.6 is and then anything below that is just oh, well, I'm going to sell this immediately kind of thing. Now, if that's their thing, obviously they got to do their job, but I don't know. I kind of it kind of upsets me a bit that people are just passing off the book as just worthless or useless, or it's whatever. And that's not how it should be. Okay. Cause if you get anything at a 9.2 and or above, that is near mint minus. That is what 9.2 is. Okay. And it just bums me out a lot. And I don't know. I just it just grinds my gears. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm looking up some information here. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. Zuni, I'm glad you agree with me. I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels like this. Okay, so for people that don't know, if you're new to the channel and you're watching now in the replay, hopefully I can give some information. I haven't really been doing any type of stuff like this in quite a while, so it's kind of fun to dive into this. But okay, so we're on the CGC, the premier Pete de Resistance grading company, and this is their standard grading scale. This is what they go off of to determine what quality the book should be professionally encapsulated and stamped with a grade as. Okay, so Gen Mint 10, the highest grade assigned collectible, has zero evidence of any manufacturing or handling defects. Okay, so to get a 10.0 is extremely rare, very, very rare. Mint 9.9, nearly indistinguishable from a 10.0, but will have very minor manufacturing defect and will not have any evidence of handling defects. So manufacturing defect qualifies for like the printer cutter kind of gets a little bit of the edge or a bit of the corner or whatever, and they can identify that that is manufacturing defect and not a handling defect. Like you go to open the book and you accidentally indent or bend the corner or something like that. All right. That's what the difference is between handling and manufacturing defect. All right. 9.8, near mint, mint. So that's what the NM/M stands for. A nearly perfect collectible with negligible handling or manufacturing defects. So this is the majority of the books that you're going to see near mint or mint that people unbox. And that is the main high point that people try to go. It's the highest grade that you search for books to purchase at 9.8. You know, 9.8s have the highest overall. The majority of books that are in high grade are going to come back at a 9.8. Negligible handling, just the most minor, barely minor things, like so minuscule it's ridiculous. And then after that, you get 9.6, 9.4, 9.2. Even a 9.0. So like at a 9.0, it's still considered very fine / near mint. So even a 9.0 is still considered on their website on the low end of near mint. And then 9.2 is where it just starts near mint minus. So it just grinds my gears that a lot of people get so bajiggity about their modern books. All right, so anything from 1985 to present is currently what they classify as modern tier. If it doesn't come back at a 9.8, this grade right here, 9.8, if it doesn't come back at a 9.8, it's completely worthless, and they wasted their time and their money, and they hate it, and they're going to sell it immediately if it doesn't come back at a 9.8, and they're disappointed with it, and they're just like their life is over. Like I really do not like that. Now, with that being said, obviously, if you are the type of person that likes to send books in that are very new books, modern tier books, like I would probably say, the last 2-3 years specifically, that's very recent, very modern. So, anything like that, unless the book has just not been bagged aboard and taken care of correctly, then the book should stay relatively near mint, or near mint plus. So 9.6, 9.8. I understand that. I get it. A lot of people like to bank on the modern tier books and very modern books to send in for pre-screens and come back 9.8s and then turn around and sell them all at a premium dollar. I understand the hustle. I get it. And not every seller does that. There's a lot of people I know that they'll get any grade and they're happy with it no matter what. And they'll still continue on with their business as usual, selling books or keeping them for a PC or whatever. So like, I get it, but there's definitely a couple of people in the community where it just feels like if they're not getting a 9.8 and if they get anything lower than 9.6, it's trash and they hit it and they're not happy. And their video shows that. They're like, oh, well, I don't know why it's not a 9.8. It should be a 9.8, but it came back at 9.2. So, whatever. But, most of the time, if that happens, if it's that big of a drop off, like either they just miss, we're human. It happens. You miss the thing that should have, yell at you that, hey, I need to get this press and cleaned or whatever the case may be. It happens. I get it. But yeah, so that's my rant. You agree with me? I'm glad you agree with me. My cat Tyler over here is yelling. But yeah. So yeah, like I know whenever I did my very first CGC unboxing video, it was complete blind unboxing. I had no idea. And my Hellboy over here came back at an 8.5, which is great considering I didn't send in press and clean or anything like that. I just sent the books in just because I had the money I wanted to get done, and I wasn't sure if I was going to have extra left over to do press and cleaning services at the time. So I just sent it in. It came back in 8.5. That's great. It's super great. You know why? Because that book is literally an all black cover. All black cover. And it's hard to get in high grade. So this is what the book looks like here. Okay. It's an all black cover. And the back looks like that too as well. So getting this in an 8.5, I was very happy for it. My Hellblazer number 1 came back at a 9.0. Super happy about that. My Wolverine number 1 came back at a 9.4. Woo! That's great. That's even better. So, yo, what's up, Abyss? Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. This is for all of you that are hearing now and on the replay. Comic Book Abyss, you need to follow him on Instagram. Me and him have been following and talking for a hot minute now. He is the horror dude, 100%. The dude posts some super awesome stuff. But yeah, it is all about horror. So with that being said, let's talk some horror. So I don't know if anybody saw this. I don't remember if I posted it on Instagram, but I got this super awesome book here. I definitely would consider it horror and suspense and all that kind of stuff, thriller, but this is the biggest, newest PC book. I got me a Crow number 1 by Caliber Presents by John O'Barr. J. O'Barr down here at the bottom. This is a second print. I wasn't able to keep the sticker and put it up over here because it wouldn't peel off the other bag. But Crow number 1 at a 6.0. And Jeremy over at Titan Comics here in Dallas, he said he did have it pressed and cleaned. I don't know if I would. I don't know. That's what he said. He said if he wasn't going to sell it, he was going to send it in directly to get graded after that. And he said he got pressed and cleaned, and he's putting it at a 6.0. It's got a good amount of spine ticks across the side. If you guys can see that there. They do break color. It is kind of a beater copy, but this book is very rare. It's hard to find. This is a second print. There are 3 printings of the number 1. First print is even harder to find. But this is definitely the most recent suspense kind of horror story, The Crow. It's a very, very great story. The movie is amazing with Brandon Lee. Unfortunately, he does die in real life because a prop gun was not taken care of properly. But that is definitely one of those. I probably will get it slabbed at some point. I think it looks really good slabbed. But yeah, no matter what it comes back at, like it's such a rare book. Like I just got to have it, you know. And I couldn't believe it was there. I paid $250 for it, so I got a great deal on it. And yeah, that's how it goes. Let's see what other horror books. So I'm pretty sure I just showed everybody. So one of the other recent horror books I did pick up was oh god, excuse me. There's Werewolf by Night. All right, Werewolf by Night makes his first appearance in Marvel Spotlight issue number 2. This is the biggest horror book that I have picked up recently. I paid $300 for this book. Raw, it's about probably he puts at a 4.0. It does have a little bit of silverfish damage. It's got a little hole in the side over here of the spine, but other than that, and then there's like good big long creasing up here in the corner. Other than that book is like hella minty. It looks really good. I mean, it's not minty, but you know what I mean. It looks really good. Let's see here. We're just gonna go down the line. Horror books. This book right here. Okay, like I've always been talking about this ever since Comic Tom was talking about this. 30 Days a Night is such a good horror series. The movie is really good. It's very bloody. It's very gory. If it's not your thing, I understand. We're talking horror, so a lot of people aren't going to like it. But it's a great story. It's about a Alaskan community that loses sunlight for 30 days. It's completely darkness for 30 days, and a horde of vampires comes through. And it is a really great story. This is also, kind of low print, kind of hard to find. And it is a 3-issue series. All right. So you got 30 Days a Night, issue number 3, 30 Days a Night, issue number 2. Very good series to get. Definitely recommend it to read and watch. And, you want to get that as a collecting item too, as well. Let's see what else. What else I got? Horror here, like real horror. I don't know. We'll see. I would consider Castlevania along the lines of that horror themed. Very Dracula. The Castlevania series on Netflix is great. I'd almost consider it acclaimed. It is animated. It's very bloody and gutsy and all that kind of stuff. Super awesome. Constantine, obviously, but this is really cool. This is the official movie adaptation of the Keanu Reeves Constantine. I got that for like $10, and it's a thick book. It's a square bound book, and it is really thick. And there is not a lot of stuff wrong with that. So that's pretty awesome. Bro, definitely get it graded, man. I got mine at a 9.2. That was actually the very first slab I bought just outright. A 9.2. I think it paid like just under $100 for it. But yeah, dude, definitely get it. But yeah, let's scroll down a little bit here. Definitely Alien. Anything Alien versus Predator, classic horror stuff. The Dark Horse Presents. These books at the time were starting to heat up because Marvel got the rights to Alien and Predator. So these are definitely a hot commodity, I would say now, because they first appeared in Dark Horse. So these are definitely keepers. I didn't know this, but at the time, Stephen King did have his Dark Tower series adapted to comic books. So that is definitely a super awesome find. I think I found this at Half Price Books. It's definitely a beater copy, but it's still really awesome. It's one of my favorite Stephen King books, The Gunslinger. Here we go. Here's some classic. This is some classic creepy horror stuff right here. Okay. So Dead of Night, issue number 1. Very creepy, very gross, and very awesome. I was kind of like on this binge for a hot minute with horror books. So I was just trying to find anything and everything really kind of like on the cheap end. And my copy is actually a pretty nice copy, but this is definitely like, more of a classic horror kind of thing. Definitely a pretty awesome book to get. This DC special here, I picked this up because this is the first appearance of Abel. And Abel is supposed to make his appearance with his brother Kane in the Sandman series on Netflix whenever that comes out. Definitely very horror themed there too as well. So I would consider the Demon a very horror themed too as well. Definitely probably my favorite Jack Kirby character besides Mr. Miracle. The Demon Etrigan is just a super really awesome character. He speaks in riddles or rhymes. Yeah, he speaks in rhymes. And he is eternally connected to the character named Jason Blood. And it's just a really cool story. Deals with like Merlin and all that kind of stuff during that time period and whatnot. It's super awesome. Definitely one of my favorites. Adrian, definitely get the Constantine. You could probably find it on eBay real cheap right now. Like, definitely try to look for that. Ooh, wrong way. Here we go. All right. Devil's Rejects. This is straight horror and blood and guts. This is adapted from the damn it, his name is drawing a blank. Rob Zombie films. Rob Zombie is a lead singer of his band too as well. Came from White Zombie, but he's also a horror fanatic and director. And I think he's also starred in some of his films. But The Devil's Rejects is definitely one of my favorite horror movies. Very bloody, very gutsy, very creepy. And this is a very minty copy. Definitely, if you like his movies, that would be a super awesome book to get. And here we go. Here's another classic one. All right, just a real classic comic book. Fear, issue number 1. Like I said, I just kind of was like on this whole bingey thing where I was trying to find cheap Marvel horror books, and that was on the list. Monster Frankenstein. Obviously, Frankenstein is horror. I think there might be one. I haven't actually looked. But yeah. This is not the first appearance of Frankenstein in comics, if I remember correctly, but this is his number 1 issue of his first series. I don't know. Would you guys consider Ghost Rider horror? Would you consider Ghost Rider have horror elements and spookiness? Probably spookiness. I'd probably consider it spookiness because today's stream is about spookiness. You probably consider Ghost Rider spooky. I don't know. Spooky or not? What do you think? I think it's kind of spooky, but Ghost Rider's great. Let's see. All right, here we go. Definitely horror, definitely spooky. John Constantine, Hellblazer, very first ongoing series by Vertigo. Yeah, I think it's kind of spooky. I consider it spooky. And then my favorite of all time superhero, Hellboy, Seed of Destruction, his origin. This is a 1 through 5, 1 through 4 series. I need to get the other issues. I keep putting it off, but definitely a super awesome story. Mike Mignola does an awesome job of combining like old folk tale stories and bring them to, mainstream. So, you got like the I almost said Babadook. Oh my God. I watched John Oliver today and he was talking about the Babadook. Not the Babadook, but the Baba Yaga. He did like Merlin. So like Hellboy is actually a descendant of King Arthur. He's technically the rightful heir to the throne of England. He's done what is it? Vampires in Mexico wrestling. There's a ton of other just like old folklore spooky stories that he brings into the Hellboy universe, and it makes it really super awesome and interesting. And yeah, definitely my favorite characters. Hellboy is half human, half demon. His mother is a human, his father's a demon. And at birth, he claimed Hellboy to be the Prince of Hell, and he cut his right arm off and stuck his stone hand that would bring the destruction of Earth and age to the new apocalypse. And so he's got the key to the end all be all of the universe in his hand, and it makes him the most worthy person to hold on to because he just has that dichotomy of balancing his good and evil to help save the world. And it's complicated, it's complex, and that's why I love it. And he's just a badass. Hellboy's just a badass. Having that next one book is where it's at. I'm very jelly of that one in collection. Yes, thank you. Definitely is one of those you should pick up. It has come down in price. We'll check on that here in a little bit. House of Secrets. This is one of the more classic stories and titles for spooky stuff. I don't quite remember why I picked this up, but it ties into the Sandman Netflix show. There's some type of significance with this book in regards to that. But yeah, House of Secrets. Let's see. Yep, X-Men. This is the very first appearance of Hellboy in color, as it says right up here. Let's see. I would almost actually consider this also kind of a horror element. So, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. This was written and created by Alan Moore and Kevin O'Neill, and the movie with Sean Connery was an adaptation of this film. And there's spooky and horror and elements of that. You got Captain Nemo, and You've got Alan Quartermain. You've got Dorian and his painting. You've got the Invisible Man. You've got vampires and stuff like that. Very, very classic stories and stuff like that. Definitely whip that up there. You're at $75. This is what I can get. Yeah, definitely take a look at it, man. Go for it if you can. Moon Knight. I would consider Moon Knight's got some spookiness. So this is his number one for the Mark Spector Moon Knight series, first issue. Definitely we'll put that up there. And then we get into Werewolf by Night. We already went that. Ghost Rider. Men in Black. So for those of you that don't know, you're looking for rare comics and stuff that people don't know, Men in Black was a comic book series. And the movie was kind of sort of based on the comic book series. It's a 3-issue series. I need to get the other 2 issues, but this is definitely one of those. It's science fiction. It's kind of spooky, kind of horror, it's up there. Already talked about Moon Knight. We got that out the way. This is a modern book here. Nice House on the Lake. Definitely a super awesome horror modern book series. Preacher, very much horror and spookiness. I love this series. The TV series is great on Netflix too. It's just ridiculous and over the top. Love it. This is original Dark Horse Predator number 1. That speaks for itself. Spooky horror, all up in that business. The Sandman series is going to be so great once it finally comes out. Very, very awesome series. Very spooky. I consider Spawn also in that character. Just Spawn overall is a spooky and just creepy and dark and complex and just, yeah, super awesome. And let's see what else we got around here. This is a good one too. So Strange Adventures issues number 205, first appearance of Deadman, part of the Justice League Dark. Super good character. And then here we go. So Supernatural Thrillers is the title. And this is one of the prized possessions for a series that I own. And it just has a bunch of the classic characters that are brought to comic books. So you've got It, you've got the Invisible Man, you got the Worm, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, one of the most classic horror stories ever. The Living Mummy. I'm sure a lot of people remember that when he first came out, just creepy. The Living Mummy is actually the most expensive book out of the Supernatural Thrillers. And then The Headless Horseman. Just super great classic horror stuff. Definitely would be books you would want to try go for. They hold value, I would say. It's kind of hard to find some in a decent grade. I think my It number 1, the Supernatural Thrillers number 1, it's like in a good condition. It's pretty rough, but the other ones are pretty decent. And then in my opinion, the king of horror, all right, and spooky is Swamp Thing. So I finally got me a decent copy. Swamp Thing number 1, and I'm trying to go for the issues 1 through 10 of his first volume. So I've got a couple of these books here, the classic cover that actually is just a lot more sought after than the number 1 besides just number 1. So it's a Bernie Wrightson cover, very classic. I just need a couple more issues and I've got the 1 through 10. And then this is the next biggest book right here. First Alan Moore on Swamp Thing, just changed the game. Super awesome. And then we get the cameo of John Constantine here with issue number 25, and then his first full appearance in issue 37. It was super great to have these books in my collection. And then the next big things, you can't have horror without Dracula. Tomb of Dracula, number 1, first appearance of Dracula in comics. Just super, super awesome. At the comic book shop, Titan Comics, where I get all my back issues, he had a number 1 in there, and he was asking for $400, and it's like a 4.0, 6.0, and I couldn't believe it because I think a year or two ago, I picked up this exact same book in his back issue bins for $40. And it's probably like a, I don't know, like a 5, 6, somewhere in there. Yeah, could not believe it. Tomb of Dracula, number 10, first appearance of Blade, the Vampire Hunter. Got this at CGC, getting graded right now. Definitely one of the biggest books I've ever picked up. Toxic Avenger, a lot of people don't know who this character is. He's just a sludge dude that got hit with a whole bunch of chemicals, and he's an Avenger. So number 1, Peter Dinklage is supposed to pick up this role. So we'll see whenever that pops out and starts going. I don't consider X-Men. I don't think X-Men has any horror stuff going on in it. So I wouldn't put that there. Vault of Evil, number 1. This is kind of like with like the Dead of Night and the Fear. This is like those classic Marvel horror standalone titles that I went after. So I got this one. Walking Dead is very much horror. I do not have a lot of Walking Dead issues. They are expensive in the low runs. So like the first 10 issues are very expensive. Number 1 is very expensive, but I got the second to last issue and the last issue. This is the first appearance of Negan and the death of Glenn. This is the first appearance of Ezekiel. Just some later books I was able to pick up over the years. Weird War. This is really cool. Weird War Tales, issue number 1 from DC. Just very, very spooky stuff from late times. And just a really awesome book to have in the PC. Werewolf by Night, number 1, obviously. That book is heated up a lot. Witchblade, number 1, definitely spooky. Has some horror elements. That line gives us the darkness, the first appearance of the darkness, which is really cool. Witcher, this is the book to get. Okay, if you guys don't know, The Witcher does have a comic book series, and this is the one you want to have. All right, Witcher number 1 by Dark Horse. It's 1 of 5. This book steadily holds at like a $30, $40 book. If you're a fan of the TV show on Netflix, definitely pick this up. And then yeah, X-Men, not horror. Don't consider it horror. But yeah, so those are the horror books that I have. Very proud of my collection just overall. And just, I love picking up horror books. Horror books are the best. They're creepy. They're fun. Yeah, Toxie is awesome, dude. He's a really awesome character. So yeah, definitely like if you want horror books, feel free to message me. I definitely will shout out the Book Abyss. He is awesome with his horror stuff. He posts tons of horror stuff all the time, and not just comic books. He'll post like TV shows, movies, actual books. He's got all that stuff. Super awesome. And it's just wonderful to have like all that super awesome stuff. So, oh my gosh, I'm trying to find out what my friends just messaging me here. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of stuff that's super awesome and super important to have as comic book collectors, and you just kind of find your element and pick a lane. And you don't have to just only stick with it, right? Like you can have other interests. So like you guys see in my collection, I've got a range of stuff. The majority of my books are Marvel books, and then DC, and then Image, and then Dark Horse. Those are the majority of my collection. I do like Marvel. Marvel's one of my favorite runs. And it sucks because like I would like to get some more DC stuff, but a lot of the DC books that I want to get, first Silver Age appearances or, early, Bronze Age, maybe Silver. DC books are expensive. It's been around a lot longer than Marvel has. And so it's just really hard to find these books and get these going in your collection because they're just really expensive. And a lot of DC stuff is more dark and, whatnot. And so it's the stuff that you want to try to go for spooky stuff. Speaking of spooky stuff, I got a guest here. Apparently his internet is holding up. So we're going to bring in a really awesome dude of the community, the Book Abyss. What's going on, dude?
Not much, man. I don't know how long my internet will hold up, but yeah, I've seen you talking about all the horror books.
Oh yeah. The spooky stuff is all about life. So yeah.
Yeah, have you? I brought a few of them, like to show you.
Yeah, what you got?
This is pretty cool.
I do have that actually.
It's weird. They made a TV to movie to it from like 1974.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I actually picked that up on a instant buy from watching Dustin from Two Brothers. He was showing off some weird books, and
mhm.
he had that Killdozer in there. I was like, oh well, I guess I'm going to eBay right now and finding me a copy. So
Yeah. Like you got to buy it for the name.
exactly, like it's a Killdozer. Like, of course I'm going to have to pick that up.
And then I got
Is that like the first appearance of Leatherface in
yeah,
comics?
yep.
Is that like the photocopy or the movie copy or that's like the cover A?
That's like the cover A. It's like first print North Star put out.
Oh, that's super cool. I was looking on Key Collector for some of the other horror stuff, and the funny thing is the Halloween first
Hmm.
appearance of Michael Myers. So there's a couple different covers for it, but the one that most
Hmm.
people go for is the movie cover, the first one where it's got the hand and all kind of stuff. But that's actually the cover B. It's not the cover A. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
think ain't that the one that glows in the dark?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's super hard to get.
Yep.
And you ever get any like into Gore Streak?
No, I have not gotten into that. I don't know what that is.
This one right here is Greg Capulli's first published artwork.
Oh, okay.
It's in this, but it's like an anthology. Like,
Okay.
yeah, they're super
Gotcha.
hard to find. Like, and like the later issues, they just keep jacking up in prices.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Like this issue right here is pretty sweet though.
It does look pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of some of what is it? Black Cat #1 or whatever, like from
Mm.
EC Comics or whatever that is.
Oh no, yeah, I know what you're talking about. The pre-code,
Yeah, the pre-code horror that kind of reminded me of that.
the dude with his face getting all like
Yeah,
blown up or
yeah, with
something.
the cigar in his mouth and whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't know if you ever seen any of these. These are pretty rare.
No, I haven't seen those. I know the Topps publisher is part of that. It's like the EC quote unquote, like super rare publisher like Wildstorm and stuff like that. So
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah, that's super cool. Jason versus Leatherface.
Leatherface. Yeah,
I don't know.
but
I'm pretty sure Jason would win because he's technically immortal and Leatherface isn't.
yeah,
So
but
just
yeah,
saying.
they did like a 3-part run with that.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a body that they're? Oh my
Hmm.
god, that's hilarious. I
Then
mean, it's not hilarious for that person, but you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah. Then right there's the third one. I think that one's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that is really cool.
I think is it Bisley? I think his name is. I don't want to butcher it, but he did like a bunch of shit in the '90s, like heavy metal
Okay.
and stuff like that. But yeah, he did the covers for them, and then I got I don't have Halloween, the one you're talking about, but I got another
Okay.
one.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, like Chaos put him out.
Nice. My favorite Halloween movie is the Rob Zombie Halloween, like when he did his take on it. The original is good too, but Rob
Yeah,
Zombie's Halloween is just so good.
I dig the first one. The second one's like a little acid trippy.
Yeah, it's a bit much, but
Yeah,
if I'm gonna go for a Rob Zombie movie, it's usually gonna be The Devil's Rejects. I'm gonna watch that.
yeah,
It's so good.
yeah,
House of a Thousand Corpses gets a bit weird sometimes. You got to be in that weird mindset to watch that movie. Otherwise it's a
yeah.
bit funky. So
Yeah, and I used to watch that like all the time, like all the time. Like me and my friends, we used to just like binge that movie, House
oh
of
yeah,
Thousand Corpses. But yeah, like I was gonna bring some pre-code horror, but I was like, I don't know how long my internet and shit's gonna last.
it seems like it's lasting really good, dude. You got a great connection. I can hear you nice and clearly, and it seems like it's working fine to me. But yeah, I definitely I think the person I'm gonna try to get a pre-code horror book from is probably gonna be Automatic Comics. I watch this shit all the time. We talk back and forth all the time on Instagram about books and specifically horror stuff.
Hmm.
And he's he's one of the sellers that I've been talking to about that, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick up a pre-code horror book from him at some point.
Oh yeah.
And I've got my wish list going on the old CLZ, because that's what we utilize nowadays. So like,
Yeah.
so these are the EC books I would love to have.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Crime and Suspense, number 1, or not number 1, number 20, EC Comics. This would just be epic.
Yeah, that would be the reprint's actually worth some money.
Oh, there's a reprint of it too. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, like they did like the Tales from the Crypt and all that stuff, like the old EC reprints.
Gotcha. So for those of you that don't know, this is a famous comic book because this sparked the congressional investigation into comic books being too adult themed, and that could end up negatively affecting the youths during that time when they were doing these books. So this was one of the big books that they actually brought to Congress to put not on trial, but into an investigation to figure out what's going on. So yeah, that is definitely one of those books I'd want to get. Looks like we just lost Abyss, but it's okay. Like if he comes back, he comes back. But yeah, so, and then like the other horror books I would really like to get, shock and suspense stories. This is one of those classic covers from that time. Just a super awesome cover. I'd love to have that. And then this was another awesome one too. This is a first appearance of the Crypt Keep. So it says here the Vault Keeper. So like kind of like it's the first iteration of the Crypt Keeper, but it's called the Vault Keeper. But this book, I would love to get this book too as well. So like these are basically the four EC books I'd really like to get.
Yeah. Like I only got the Vault Horror. Like I had to go run and go snag it because I remember I told you I'd show you it. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Yeah. See that? Yeah, that's the one I want. Was that 1.5?
Yeah, and the only reason it is because the cover's detached. Well, it's split. But
okay.
it presents like super well.
It does. It looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's got like a piece of tape going down. But the thing is with these things, if you can find them, like pretty much any grade, buy them.
Yeah. And that's kind of like how I am, but I'd also like to try to get one that's complete.
Yeah.
If it's or I could go for a restored copy. Like that wouldn't bother me either. Like if I wanted to get a slab in its restored copy, but I would like to have the staples intact, the cover intact. And if it has all of that and it's like a 1.5, 1.8, I'd be okay with that because it's just so old. You know, it's just so old. But I need the bare minimum as possible because I still need to be able to justify spending that much money for the grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like you could get one. It's like, I don't know, like a detached cover and it's complete. Like there ain't nothing cut out of it. No pages missing, nothing like that. And like for a decent price. Like, I mean, I went to like a small comic show and I picked up this.
Oh, the Fear?
Yeah. It's got a dude getting like murdered by some wolves.
See, that's the other thing too, is like but the books, like all of those series from the Pre-Code Horror, the EC comic publisher, like they're all basically to some extent key books, right? Like they're considered all key books because they're pre-code. So before the comic books code authority was developed to where they had to follow certain guidelines. But I have trouble trying to get out of my key collector mindset to just pull the trigger on getting like an issue number 11 or an issue number 3 or an issue number 24. You know, it's kind of hard for me to get out of that mindset. So I just kind of picked some of the classic, little bit more,
iconic
lean
ones.
toward. Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, because like pretty much like a lot of them, they got burned, they got thrown away, they got stuffed in the walls of houses, because of the paper. They were short with paper and shit.
yeah.
Like, yeah, like so pretty much any of them, like you can get like anything. It don't even have to be like EC. Like, so they make some pretty sweet pre-code. Like they got witches tales.
I've seen the witches tales, the witch line too as well.
Mhm.
I've seen a couple of those, but I don't know, like just for the significance,
Yeah, it's an
I
EC.
want I want to go for the EC pre-code.
I know.
Yeah,
I've been trying to hunt down like a Tales from the Crypt, but I can't get a hold of one. Like they're super hard to get. Like I
like,
got
are you just trying to get the number one, or you just want to get the first appearance of the Crypt Keeper?
oh that's first Crypt Keeper's Crime Patrol.
Right. Okay.
Um, but no, just any
Just any
Tales from the
tales from the
Crypt.
Crypt.
Yeah, any.
Yeah, that'd be
So
pretty awesome.
so I have like all three of their horror, like the Haunt of Fear or the Hunt of Fear and Vault of Horror, and
Hmm.
then like that. Then I'd like to get a shock, but
Yeah,
and
it just becomes like so expensive. Oh yeah, look at that cover. Oh, that looks super cool.
yeah, this is like a better shape one, but
Well, it's in Mylar. It looks like a 9.8, so you can never go
yeah,
wrong with that.
but
That's
but like I picked these like that Hunt of Fear and this Crime Suspense up at this little show I went to, and yeah, I flipped through them, made sure they're all there, made sure like there was nothing cut out and everything, and picked them up.
Did they smell okay? Because my comic shop up here that I go to all the time to pick up all my back issue bins and spend the most money,
Mm-hmm.
he had an EC pre-code horror book in there, but he warned me, he's like, if I take it out of the bag, you're gonna get hit with a pretty bad smell. It looks pretty decent, but it definitely is like a mixture of like mildew slash smoke,
Mm-hmm.
cigarette smoke kind of thing. So like, do your books, like, do they have any type of lingering like that? Because that is, with them being so old, something that you have to consider.
Not really. I mean, like they smell like a super ass old comic book though. Some old
That's
paper,
good. Because I mean,
but
during that time, like people were just constantly smoking everywhere and all the time. So
mhm.
that's a big issue that you can run into, specifically like the golden age books and stuff.
Yeah, like everything's like Mad Men, like smoking the train
Yeah,
smoking.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so I mean, like I don't know, I can pop one out. Like I ain't been down like sniffing it though, but
You don't sniff your comics. You don't
like,
get like one good whiff in.
well, not these. These things are like brittle. Like,
Well,
well,
don't
not
take.
brittle, but
Well, just open the top and just don't pull the book
yeah,
out. Just stick your nose in it. How bad does it smell?
it smells like just an old comic book.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it
At least
smells like
you didn't
it
get a
smells something
lemon.
like a yeah. It smells something like almost like a Silver Age type deal.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I'm looking here on Key Collector. It's just a really good tool to utilize and look at stuff. So
Yeah.
this is the pre-code horror category that I'm looking at here. Whoops. Crime and suspense.
Shock.
Yeah, it's an awesome shock. We already seen this.
Yeah, like Chamber of Chills. I got a Chamber of Chills. Like, I sort of like them. They made some pretty sweet covers.
I thought I had a Chamber of Chills at one point, like volume 2 or something like that. I think I
Yeah, they
sold
did.
one.
I think they rebrought them out in the Bronze Age or something like that. But yeah, like
Yeah,
the
that's what
the
I
old
had.
the pre-code, the Golden Age stuff. So if you look at it, it says like Chamber of Chills magazine. And they're like sort of like they're skinny, like because the EC ones are sort of fat like a Golden Age, but the Chamber of Chills they're not. They're like more skinnier, like a comic.
Yeah, so this was one I was looking at. I almost picked this up like a couple years ago or a year ago. So this Chamber of Chills, when this come out, 1972.
Yeah.
Solid Bronze Age book right there. But yeah, yeah, some of the crime and suspense stuff is super cool, but it's so old, it's so expensive.
Yeah. And like towards the end of the run, like on them crime and suspenses and like just a lot of them, like they start getting crazier. Like that's around when
Yeah,
the whole they got shut down type deal.
yeah. My one of my best friend Charles, he'd lose his mind over this. He's got a thing for eyeballs. He wouldn't be able to look at that. But yeah, getting like Starling Terror. I think Automatic Comics was talking about some of these other different title runs. I think Suspense is one of those. Just like title suspense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I forget.
He just did this horrific number 4. I think he just showed this the other on his latest video.
Them are sweet. Yeah, no, like them suspense
Here it
ones that you're
is.
talking about. Yeah, yeah, them are sweet.
Mm-hmm.
The suspense ones, like you're talking about, Atlas put them out.
Yeah.
So they're like pre-Marvel type deal.
Yeah. And this Weird Mystery, this is one of those that people lost their minds over too as well. Yeah, here you go. Suspense right here. LB Cole
I think
was
that's
the
a
big
different suspense one.
And I think he just unboxed this too. This Suspense Comics number 3, and that other one too as well. Panda's got a thing about eyes, which is weird because they're always half open. Anyways, oh my god, that's hilarious, dude. Yeah, eyeballs are a thing. So speaking of that, did you see the new Batman yet?
No,
Okay.
no.
I had to warn my best friend who's got the thing about eyeballs. So like you get like a real up close shot of Batman taking out his contact lens. I had to warn him. It's like when you go to see it, you're gonna lose your mind about that for a hot second. Yeah, he can like almost puke on command about if he thinks about an eyeball for too long or sees something an eyeball related. Yeah, it's not good.
You watch a Fucci, or was it Flochi or Fucci? I can't think. I'm on butcher's name. Like Dead Zombie. Movie. Did Zombie, did Beyond, the Beyond.
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
Like the House by the Cemetery. It's like Italian horror.
Okay.
Like, all that shit, like they do all these close-ups of eyeballs, like getting drill bits and shit going in them. Yeah, crazy.
There's only so much of that I can handle. Yeah, no, he's real bad. Like you mentioned, like if I was to go up to him, or like, okay, so you know the scene in Ace Ventura when he's torturing the dude by pushing his eyeball in?
Oh yeah.
Like he would lose his lunch. He would get sick. Like, yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool. I've never seen this. Punch Comics. I didn't know that was a title.
Man, I was looking at this one. It was a crime one, or something like that. But it was something about like what made it key was it had instructions on how to rob a blind person in it.
Oh God.
Yeah, and I was like, really?
Jesus.
That's all before like the code came out.
Yeah. I think realistically I'd be able to get the issue number 20 before 22. I don't think I'd ever be able to get that. You said the reprint for Crime and Suspense Stories 22 is pretty
I mean, like it ain't super expensive, but it can go for a bit at the high grade because there ain't that many of them. But yeah, I ain't never ran into one out in the wild.
So it looks like they only got them in the Netherlands right now.
Oh, like the reprints or the actual?
Yeah, these look reprints. The EC Comic reprints. Yeah, there's only in the Netherlands right now. But look at this. MyComicShock.com for $3,400. Hey, Panda, I'm calling in my AOK request right here, right now. Man, that would be sweet to have.
What they got it graded at?
Hey, he's saying at 1 I'll scroll down here a second after I finish looking at it. Looks like I bet you the cover's detached.
Yeah, more than likely. Like honestly, like when you get some of these like graded, like the golden age, they're a little more like lenient on it.
Yeah. Yeah, here you go. See, just we were talking about earlier, heavy cover oxidation. Probably smells really bad. Cover detached 2-inch cumulative spine split. But man, that is sweet.
Yeah, like the one I got, it's like split like completely, like but it got taped back on.
Yeah. I'd like to. I think at that point, I think I'd rather the book is detached with no tape. Staples are still on there, but not with the book, at least as close to possible.
I mean, like I'm cool with the tape, like because if you look at it in person, it don't look bad at all. Like you don't really notice the tape unless you like flip it over in the back. But yeah, I mean, like for the most part, it's not bad.
That's so tragic. I bet you that was done by a parent back in 1954.
Yep.
The book's got a big old tear in the back too. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah, I would not even try to go for that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Reprint. 100 bucks, $150 for the reprint, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can get lucky. Just go to a comic shop and start digging through them EC like reprints.
Have you seen the Journey to Mystery reprints?
What, like the Silver Age stuff or old?
It's the Journey into Mystery first Thor. So the Golden Records reprint. No, this is what they go for.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And that's just the reprint, dude. That's not even the first print.
Huh.
Golden Age reprint 6.0 going for $800. Just insane.
Wow.
So for those that don't know, a reprint is just a literally what it is. It's a reproduction of a comic book, however much time or whatever later. And is a second print, technically a second print. So a bunch of the original big names. So Journey of Mystery 83. You got like Fantastic Four #1. A lot of these books had these golden record reprints. So it was the issue #2 that came out like 2 years later or something like that, or a year later. These books are the next best thing to be able to get to originals because this is a original Journey of Mystery 83. Origin and first appearance of Thor. 1962. Not a golden record reprint. First print. And 6.0 is going for $34,000. So, yeah, just like, so these golden record reprints that we're seeing up here for a couple $100 to a couple $1,000. Woo! Good
That's
Lord.
gnarly.
It's insane. But yeah, I definitely would, I'd love to get some of these super awesome EC books. It just hits like the rarity, scarcity, hard to find. Not a lot of people are aware of it or trying to go for it. Most people are trying to go for like those, like the first appearance of Thor, Fantastic Four, X-Men and stuff. It's just like, that's so, I hate to say it, but it's so mainstream. I'd rather try to get into stuff that's just so not mainstream the majority of the time, because you're going to be able to find stuff at a pretty decent price for a pretty decent grade. And it just kind of builds your collection to be more unique,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like some of the stuff that like I've been starting to collect, I was a long time ago. I used to like my old collection. I used to get like, I had Thor and like old Silver Age Spider-Man and all that stuff. And yeah, and it's like I had to sell it all. I had like I had the whole run of Swamp Thing. I was all like proud about that, and then I lost it all. And then like when I went back into it, I was just like, I'm going straight up horror, and like 90% of my books are nothing but horror. But
yeah, like no, I totally get it. No, it's going in and out, but you're still there. It's all good. It's not like how Pocan Joe was on on the other night. His internet was super hot due to garbage. It was bad, but no,
Oh,
you're
dude, my
good.
stuff would go bad in a minute.
Yeah, it's all right. Like at least your voice is coming through crystal clear. You might have some lag on your video, but your voice is good. But yeah, like I don't know. It's just spooky stuff. It just hits different, especially with comic book collecting and movies and TV shows. I don't know. There's just this
Mhm.
thing that just draws us all into the spooky stuff, and it's just super cool and fun to have. I don't know.
Yeah, like I most definitely like Bronze Age and stuff like that too. Like or like Witching Hours and all that. Like Nick Cardy, like the first, I think he did the first 5 covers. Like that's like some awesome stuff. Like Nick, and Neil Adams picked it up.
Yeah, I'm kind of like getting to a bit more Neil Adams stuff. Trying to get some classic Neil Adams covers and stuff. So I'm definitely aware of that. Yeah, yeah. It's just lags every
Yeah.
once in a while. You're good. You're good. Um, have you been doing any modern horror? So I thought we could dive into this a little bit here. So off Key Collector modern horror category, they got. Have you read Philadelphia or anything about that?
Mm-mm. No.
I think I was picking this up a little bit.
Like the only
I just
thing
couldn't
that
get into
I've
the
got
artwork. What's the only thing you got modern?
like Ice Cream Man's like the only modern stuff. Ice
Oh,
Cream
okay.
Man.
Yo, what's going on, Jim? How's it going? Hopefully you're doing well, man. We're talking horror stuff, bro. I'm assuming you've watched or read The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah.
That's like as modern horror as you can get. I've actually almost picked this up, Black Monday Murders. I really like. I'm kind of intrigued by this. There's like I don't know how many issues or whatever it is, but that might be something I end up picking up next. I did read a little bit of Redneck #1. I had a 9.8 of that for a hot second, but it didn't really like pick up on me super hard.
Gotcha.
I did have Gideon Falls for a hot second. That was pretty good. I know a lot of people were big into Sweet Tooth in the Netflix series. It was not my thing.
Mm-hmm. You ever read the Crossed?
Mm-mm.
That's pretty
No.
like bonkers
I haven't
stuff.
read that. Is it?
Yeah. It's almost like I tell people it's extreme, but it's like the Crazies / The Walking Dead
Okay.
to like the extreme.
That sounds awful for them. I do have a limited edition Texas Chainsaw Massacre foil cover. That's pretty sweet.
Oh no shit.
Sandman, classic. Hellboy, classic. It's just some of my favorite horror stuff. I've heard Nailbiter's pretty good. I haven't gotten to that. Witches, I haven't read it, but I really do like the Witch movie. It's super good. Have you seen that?
Which movie? Yeah. Yeah, I actually seen that. Actually, I had a buddy of mine. He gave me the trade to that Witches.
This one from 2015. This one right here. This is a great horror movie. Super awesome. Takes place in the 1600s when the Pilgrims first come over and start settling, and a family ends up having religious disagreement, and so they separate themselves from the major community and go off to live on their own. And then it just goes downhill from there. And it deals with witches and the devil and stuff like that. The catch is, if you go to watch this movie, you are going to have to really pay attention. Might even need to put subtitles on, because it's not that they're hard to understand, but they speak in like old time English. So like almost kind of like New King James Bible like dialect, dictation kind of thing. But it's a really awesome horror movie, and it takes place in the same. It started the same universe with the Lighthouse with Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe.
You ever watch Hereditary?
Oh yeah, they're all in that same genre. Hereditary is
Yeah, the
great.
same director.
Hereditary is great. Did you watch?
I didn't like Midsummer.
Yeah,
I
you
thought
didn't
it
like
was like
Midsummer.
a Wicker Man ripoff.
I could see how you would say
Yeah.
that. But this Midsummer is actually a very cool, creepy movie. Like it actually really is. And it's hella fucked up. Like for those of you that don't know and watch this later,
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Midsummer is a horror movie that takes place during the day, the entire time. Like noon high sun is up. It is so creepy, and it's really good. Yeah. Zuni, you guys are out. Have a good night. Thank you. Appreciate it. What you got, Jim? The white cover, 30 Days of Night. Yeah, man. It's I was talking about that earlier. That is definitely one of the top horror books to get if you can find out. You out of here. Awesome.
Yeah, I've actually looked for that 30 Days a Night, and I can't never find it. It is super hard.
Adrian, thanks for being here, man. Very much appreciated. I'll keep an eye out for the mail. Have a good night, brother. We can actually look that up here. I actually haven't looked at it in a hot minute. $72 right there. Boom. Yeah, that's expensive. I haven't seen that price before. But yeah, those are the only two that are showing. Yeah, it's hard to find because then you get like the volume 2s and stuff like that. Yeah, that's the second print too. That's not even first print. Yeah, definitely is.
Oh, wow.
That was definitely one of my favorite horror books that I was able to pick up. That was like one of my first like kind of low print. Oh, my bad. Sorry, Josh. That low print horror kind of thing. Yeah, definitely super, super excited to finally pick that up.
Yeah, like you ever get into any Faust?
Like original like hardback story Faust kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about?
No, like Tim Visual and stuff.
No, I've never heard of that. Is that Faust? Is that
here,
like the title?
I'll go grab a couple copies of it. Yeah, Faust. Yeah, they only went up to like Act 15, something like that. I've got some on my page, but yeah, right there on the left. Not the Avatar stuff, but the one. Yeah.
Independent series.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's some pretty cool stuff. Mm-hmm. Yep, and the higher the print goes, or the higher the number, like the later issues, the harder they're to get.
Oh yeah, they got the copies ordered by retailers low print here. Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, like they actually, I think the writer and the artist actually, I think towards the end, they were printing them themselves, so like publishing them themselves.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you can ever like keep an eye out for them, man, like them would be a hunt for you.
Premiere edition. Are those square bound or are they standard comic book?
That one right there. I think they're just like Oh, well, yeah, they're all like regular comic books.
Oh, okay, got you. Oh, that's super cool. I might have to look for that.
They're just crazy. They're all black and white.
Oh, their
Yeah,
interior
cool.
black and
hard
white?
to find. At least. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Oh, shit. Hold on.
Yeah, but the artwork's like super awesome.
Premiere issue of independent series written by David Quinn and illustrated by Tim Vigil. I feel like I've heard of that. July 2020, Deadline announced an animated series based on Faust is in the works.
Yeah, there was something about that, but I ain't never heard no more about it. But they're still there, like they're cool to collect. And the crazy thing
Rebel,
is
right?
with that one right there, the first one, I think North Star did the first few of them.
Damn. That's an expensive book.
Yeah, but you can find them pretty cheap too. I mean, I picked me up a first print of the first issue for like $5.
Oh, okay. Josh, I need your opinion. I just bought a 1940
if you dig something,
Blue Bolt. I don't know what that is.
Blue Bolt.
I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I ain't sure.
Is that what this is by Funny's Comics? Is this the one we're talking about here? I'm assuming it's probably this.
Like shooting a laser.
Okay. Blue Bolt, number 1, 1940s.
Was that it?
Yeah. I don't know. That's such a golden age book. I'm not really seeing anything anywhere near close to that. You get like volume 6 that's posting up here on eBay. So I don't know. Do you feel like you overpaid? I'm assuming this is the one that you just did on the second. Did you just buy this on the second? I'm assuming that this is the only recent one. I mean, it looks super rare. You know, if you're having trouble trying to find it on eBay like I am, I'm assuming it's pretty rare to find. So, but 1940 book. Yep, that's awesome. Yeah. Sure. I mean, I personally know nothing about this book. 1940s. I'm not versed in Golden Age at all, but it's definitely beat up.
It's pretty cool.
Back is got a lot of damage to it. Is the cover detached, or is it being held on by a single staple or anything like that? Other than that giant chip missing out that top left, I'd say it looks pretty okay for a Golden Age book, right? Yeah. I I don't know if that top corner over there on the back, that looks like that could be like mildew or mold or something like that, maybe. Or is that like color print or something like that? Still attached and complete. Well, that's a big deal for a 1940s book. So any golden age.
That's awesome.
So I would probably say you probably got a good steal on this, considering what I would assume this book goes for in higher grades. So yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
For number one, volume one.
I got it ain't like horror pre-code.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'd say like you got a pretty good decent deal on it. For what it is. Definitely a book that you would have a tough time finding, and a lot of people wouldn't even know about. I'm kind of wondering if Alex the Comic Hoarder knows anything about this, or like Automatic Comics. There's only 24 in existence. That's a pretty big deal too, as well. 6 first appearances. Wow, that's a lot. What does it say on Key Collector? It doesn't even say anything. It just says first appearance and origin of Blue Bolt. It doesn't say anything about other appearances, which is interesting. First collaboration between Joe Simon and Jack Kirby on issue number 2. That's a pretty sweet book to get. Oh, you did? What did Alex say? Did Alex say that was a good deal, or does he think you overpaid? Oh, it does say on the cover, doesn't it? Yeah, look at that. Okay. Wow. Sergeant Spook. God, that's not PC
like
nowadays.
Cents.
10 center. That's pretty awesome. He said congrats. Okay, that's awesome. But did you ask him also if he thought you got a good deal on it or anything? Did he say anything else to that effect? I'm just curious. I feel like I've talked to Alex a couple times about Golden Age pre-code horse stuff. I think I've talked to him a couple times about that. But yeah, no, that's super awesome. That's definitely a rare book, without a doubt. Rare book.
Hey man, I gotta get ready to bolt out. I gotta wake up at 5:30.
No problem, man. Thanks for stopping on, and it was nice to talk to you finally face to face. Thank you.
Yeah, like hopefully next time my internet works better.
Hey man,
But
you got what you got.
catch you later, man.
That's awesome. Later. Have a good night. So yeah, Josh, I'd probably say you did really good, man. As far as trying to find like a rare book that a lot of people don't know about, I think that's pretty awesome. He also doesn't know much about it other than it's rare. Yeah, I mean, you pretty much hit all the points on that. So there you go. I'd say that's a pretty awesome and pretty big deal. So definitely cannot bank on that. All right. Well, team, I've had a lot of fun talking horror comics tonight. I'm definitely going to close this show out on this super awesome high note. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Very much appreciate it. Keep an eye out for those horror comic books. Anything spooky. That stuff is always super awesome. It's usually a lot easier to find than a lot of the other bigger, harder books to get. So if you're looking for other things to get into, definitely spooky stuff is the way to go, in my opinion, as well as others. So that's it for tonight's show. I'm Vincent McLean, the Comic Machine. You guys have been awesome. Thank you. And I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out.